he is getting a lot of vision, as well as taking the Zelnaga watchtowers. Well, at least he's taking one of them, from the looks of it. Ignore my Skype. It sometimes does that. Looks like Mutas are going to be sniping him on that last watchtower. So he does. So we have a pretty even amount of Mutas right now. It looks like I am lagging just a little bit, and now I see that he has Hydras. So actually, I'm actually pretty happy with this unit choice. I'm glad that he went Hydras, because roaches are not roaches, what am I saying? Zerglings, when they morph into banelings are very good against Hydras. If I can just get a couple banelings into that flock of Hydras, I can take them all out at once. So that's one thing I am going to be opting to do. And right now, yeah, as you can see, I'm building a bunch of Zerglings. Looks like he is going to be poking in here with his Mutas, but his whole army is at my door. And now I am actually pretty happy I did invest in these 3 spine crawlers towards the beginning, because it's actually going to prevent him from attacking. And he sees those spine crawlers, he's going to back up. He does see these overlords kind of unprotected. And a couple of Zerglings running out to do some kind of damage. Not really, they're just being funny, trying to be heroes. And I am morphing a bunch of banelings now. Looks like he's going to coming in here to try to snipe, but I have my queen and my Mutalisks to hold that back. Looks like a little blunder. I am moving my banelings in now to take out all those Hydralisks. Let's see if I can actually do that, though. Looks like they are in a good spot. My Mutalisks are over the army, and he's actually doing a good job by moving his roaches in front of the Hydras, but unfortunately my banelings do come and clean that up. And you know, I knew that I wasn't going to win this fight, so I'm actually going to be sacrificing my Mutas, trying to kill the low ones, trying to micro and kill the low ones, at least try to take as many out as I can, but unfortunately I'm not able to take out any of them. But the damage is done. I actually did soften this Muta army up quite a bit, and only has about 5 units right on the field right now. I am continuing to get banelings because I was expecting more Hydras, as well as getting more Mutalisks. So as you can see here in the Harvester tab, I'm doing actually a much better job keeping my Harvester count up, but he is coming in for an attack in the back. So this could do a lot of damage if I'm not careful, because these are all the drones I pretty much have. My main is not really mining. I should actually have a rally point here, so now I do. And it looks like he is going to be coming in, picking off 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drones, and then my Mutas come. I'm going to be trying to pick off all the weak ones, so I see this one's weak. And let's see if I can actually pick them off. I'm trying to do some micro here. He's actually running into it. And now we are even. We are even on the count. I have 1 full Mutalisk, as he has one, as I have 1 Mutalisk as well. So this Mutalisk has full health, as well as this one. Blah. My words are getting all jumbled up. But this was a pretty hectic game. I thought I kind of lost it in the beginning, but seeing now that he is just getting the expansion up, I decided, you know what, this is the time to attack. I'm pretty sure his army isn't in place. I'm going to do as much damage as I can to his economy. It looks like I'm going to be coming in here, see how many Harvesters I do pick off. Looks like 1, 2. I'm going to be picking off the Queen as well. So that's going to slow down his army. Looks like I do pick off 3, 4, 5, 6. So I did essentially the same amount of damage he did to my drone line, and I am actually going to his main to do a little bit more damage, maybe pick off some guys on gas, hoping he will forget to put them back in gas. But his army is going to be moving in to clean that up. And as you can see, I am not doing the best job spreading creep, and my opponent, on the other hand, is doing a much better job spreading that creep, and he has a lot of vision of the map. Let's just take a quick look at his vision. Yeah, you can pretty much see any attack that's going to be coming. Unfortunately, I don't have too much of the map. And I feel a little clustered, and I feel a little intimidated, almost like a Terran just kind of turtling up. And in essence, that's what I was kind of doing, just making enemies, or just making units in the front here at the choke. But if you look in the Harvester tab, I am continuing to make drones, continuing to macro up, making sure my drone count is up, so I am able to sustain an army and keep producing attacking units. Whereas my opponent, he doesn't have as many units, and looks like he actually did kill off my Overseer with his remaining 4 Mutalisks. And wow, now my opponent actually has a lot more Mutalisks than I do. So it looks like I could be in a lot of trouble here if I do not macro out a couple more Mutalisks. Looks like I do have somewhat of a decent number of Mutalisks. Pretty similar number count. And it looks like I am getting the +1 upgrades as well for my Zerglings, as well as the +1 upgrades for my Mutalisks, just because I want to stay ahead of my opponent here. Seems like he did rebuild his queen, as well as get this expansion back up and running. So if we look here, my opponent is going to be droning up a bit. So I noticed this, and I think this is the time to attack. I did do a lot of damage before, and he's probably going to be droning up. He might not have an army, so I'm going to be coming in here doing a lot more economic damage, keeping the harass up, making sure I take out as many harvesters as I can, so he's not able to make a, so he's not able to produce as much units. Let's take a look here. I'm actually trying to kill those guys on gas once again, trying to pick off the queen, trying to do a little bit of micro here, as well as keep up the macro. I'm trying to do both at the same time. I do have a couple queens out, so I'm trying to get more queens at my expansions, at my natural and my main base, just so I can defend it just a little easier from those mutalisks that will most likely be coming to do some type of harass. It doesn't look like my opponent did opt to get any excuse me, he did not get any upgrades, and he is starting to get mined out in his main. So if anything, my opponent, oh, he's actually a little blunder here. He's not mining for a bit, so he lost a lot of mining time. He only had 80 minerals at that time. He was only mining 80 minerals per minute at that time. So wow, a little blunder going on there. I am now going to be grabbing my third, but my opponent will be queuing up these mutas to be scouting all around for those expansions. So great scouting on my opponent's part. He's pretty much got the scouting down. He has it really well. Able to see when I was going to expand, as well as having a creep tumor there. So really doing a great job spreading the creep, making it hard for me to spread my creep and get vision. So now I actually do have a decent sized army. Maybe a couple more banelings would have been useful. I do have roaches as well as roach speed. So I do have roach speed now. And this queen, wow, these queens have so much energy on them. So I'm not doing the best job with my queen macro here. That queen really needs to inject sometime here. Looks like I did do a little bit of drone harass. And whoa, a little bit laggy there. Sorry about that. I don't know how many drones I picked off, but I'm trying to make sure that he is never feeling comfortable. I'm always going into attack, keeping him on the back of his heel. Oh, excuse me. Keeping him on the back of his heel, making sure that he can't make an attack. It looks like more drones just sitting here idle. I think I have drones idle as well. Actually, not quite. I'm actually not getting gas from this, so a little blunder here on my part, not getting gas for my second extractor there. So I am only running on 3 gas. That's a little unfortunate. I should actually be checking for that more often. My opponent is scouting again to see if I have any other sneaky expansions. Unfortunately, I don't. And this is a little... this was not that smart of a move on my part. I shouldn't have moved out my whole army to scout out. I think I actually meant to click one Zergling, but instead ended up moving them all. And from that, he is softening up my army, killing off banelings as well as killing off roaches. But this is actually a good lure, I thought, to come in and do a little bit of damage to his mutas, maybe pick one off if I can. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that much damage, and I was expecting Hydras to come out, which they will be. So I am going to be backing out from this encounter. And my opponent can see everything due to these creep tumors. And he's going to be able to come in and pick off this creep tumor that is building. So that is my last creep tumor. I should have actually opted to drop maybe a bunch more creep in the back and kind of slowly move it up. Looks like I am going to be moving in to try to do more harass, but at the same time, my computer lags. Sorry. At the same time, he's going to be coming in as well. Sees my army is undefended, so he's going to be doing a little bit of damage. But he should have attacked my army. And I have a couple mutas here, but I don't want to engage this because it could do a lot of damage. So I'm just going to be backing out, making sure that I get a nice surround with my mutas. Oh, you don't hear that too often, trying to get a surround with your mutas. But I am going to be chasing him down, trying to micro as well, and I'm going to be following him. My queens are taking a couple pot shots at his mutas. And I do now have an auxiliary hatchery up. And it's a good thing I did get 2 queens here to block this off. And looks like he actually kind of gets himself stuck in the corner here, and I'm going to be taking out a couple of his mutas. So a huge blunder on my enemy's part, losing a lot of his mutas. Now it's dwindled down to only 4. Note that I actually do have +1 upgrades, whereas my opponent does not. So I'm going to be killing his mutas much faster than he'll be killing mine. So if it wasn't even a counter, which it could have been, I would have done much better than he would have. It looks like I am going to be going for some kind of frontal assault. Excuse me, if you look on the Harvester tab here, I am trying to do the best to keep my macro out. So I'm always keeping in my head that, reminding myself in my head that I need to make mutalisks. I need to make, not mutalisks, I need to make drones. I need to keep making drones, keep making worker units. And right here, I'm actually going to be picking off a couple of overlords, hoping to put him under, but he actually did a great job preparing and having a lot of those overlords out. Which technically isn't the best way to macro, from what I hear. It looks like I am going to be taking out his queen for the 3rd time, if I'm not mistaken. and doing a lot of damage to his drones, to his economy. And let's take a look. I don't think, the harvester tab probably isn't going to change. So yeah, I did take out a couple more of his drones. Looks like he did macro up and build more workers. But right now he only has 4 mutas, as well as a lot of hydras and roaches. So it looks like he is going to be deciding to move out, deciding to make an attack. But I think this is a pretty good counter to his roach hydra and his 4 mutalisks. And the worst timing ever, right when I'm moving out to try to break these rocks, he is coming in. So I'm trying to spread out my army, get a nice spread. This actually isn't that great of a spread, but I am going to be surrounding his army. Great job having the roaches in the front, and the hydras in the back, but my banelings are going to break through that hole and kill off all those hydras. So yeah, during this attack, I think what my opponent should have done is done a better job making sure his hydras wouldn't get hit by those banelings, but unfortunately those banelings were able to reach the hydras and take out a huge chunk of them, and now I am going in for a counterattack to finish off my opponent, and my opponent leaves the game. So this was a fun little Zerg versus Zerg that actually developed pretty long. It went on for a while. I didn't expect this to be such a long game, but it went on for a while. I actually expected to have some kind of Zergling, Baneling micro towards the beginning, but that never happened, and it ended up being a very long game, taking up the Spire, and yeah, just a lot happened. Random Zerglings just sitting here. So yeah, this is going to be a StarCraft commentary by Hop StarCraft, and I am going to be hopping off.